Hello, I'm Laura Davis. I'm the CEO and founder of Laura A. Davis and Associates. We're headquartered in Atlanta, and we help leaders to become more emotionally intelligent, teams to become more cohesive, and organizations to have cultures with high trust as well as high performance, where people truly want to come to work and give their best. So, what I'd like to do today is show you one of the tools that we use very frequently in our work with clients. That is the Everything Disc Assessment on Catalyst. Some of you are familiar with the Catalyst platform, others are new to it. What I did want to do is give you a preview of some of the newest enhancements and their benefits. That way, you can get a feel for what you're missing if you're not using it. And if you haven't been on the platform for a while, I hope I induce you to go back and use it on a regular basis. So, the first thing I want to share with you is something called your groups. And so, I'm going to go here to the left hand navigation and click on your groups. And you'll see that I have Mateo's team. Mateo is down here. He's an SC, and he has created this map of his team. So he's on Project Team Omega. We're going to make him the leader of this team. And you can see that the composition of this team is primarily SC. And he has one D, one I, and there are certain implications to that. So he can learn more about what the different styles are about and who is that style by clicking on Style Insights. And you'll see that there are two S's and then three C's. He has a relatively small team, but he can get a better understanding of what each individual cares about. Here's where I think it's very valuable to understand the composition of your team. He can see that he has more C's than anything. 43% are C, 14% D, 14% I, and 29% S. So he's a little weighted on the more conservative, methodical, think before acting end of the spectrum, which could have certain implications. So he can click through and see what should he be thinking about if one or more styles are more heavily represented. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that there might be potential blind spots that the whole team will want to be aware of. Okay, so you can see how you can kind of click through and play with that. The second really powerful new feature, in addition to your groups, are these group continua. There are 8 of them. I'll show you a few, but it's really powerful to understand how many people on your team or in your group are accommodating versus strong-willed. And what does that mean? Are private or outgoing? Are focused on feelings versus logic? And it can explain many times why initiatives get stalled or why people have challenges with one another. For example, you can see you've got 2 very frank people and Mateo's very tactful. So that could have certain implications. So you can see there are a number of different continua here to consider. Look at all the skeptical people on his team. By the way, you can keep your groups to yourself. You can share it with your team. There are a lot of different options you can add and delete people up here with the edit group. But here's where there's real value, I believe, is these conversation starters. Let's say some of these dynamics are happening and you don't really know what to do about it, and you need to make some decisions. So one of the things you can do is use these conversation starters in team meetings or in ad hoc kind of dialogues with one another. And the suggestion is 8 to 15 minutes on each of the 3 screens. That's really up to you. But if you hit the get started here, it will explain what some of these dynamics might mean to your group. So, this is a powerful understanding here. You got some strong-willed people and some accommodating people. It may mean that the accommodating people don't speak up enough, or the strong-willed people aren't aware that they can come across as stubborn or resistant to really listening to other points of view. So there are some discussion questions that you can play with, whether or not you agree with where you fall. What does it mean to be accommodating or strong-willed? How does that help you? How does that hinder you? And so on. So last but not least, I want to come back to the Get Advice feature. And Get Advice is brand new. If you are an administrator for the Catalyst platform, you may have received your email today explaining this, but I'd like to share it with everyone now. You could do this before, but they're making it even easier to use Catalyst on a regular basis. And remember, you can use this on any device. So real time, let's say you're in a meeting, or you're about to go in a meeting or have a lunch with someone and you want to connect with them more effectively. You can click here, or you want to collaborate, or you want to manage tension with them. There seems to be some kind of disconnect. So you can click on any of these, but I don't want to leave you with the impression it's just about when you're having conflicts. Let's say I really want to persuade someone on my team. I want to get their buy-in. So let's just look at this quickly. So it will define what that means about convincing, persuading someone to see the value in your idea and to share your excitement about its potential. So let's look here. I think her name was Ida Sample. Oops, I can't spell. Hang on just a minute. This is a problem. Ida. Let's go with Isla because she came up. All right, so if I keep going down here, she's an ID. She was our very outgoing person in a world of people who were more private. So again, you can see that Mateo here is skeptical, and she's somewhat skeptical. So that means that you're likely going to reject one another's ideas before fully exploring their possibilities. So that could be an issue. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that, so you keep open to new ideas and brainstorm before you evaluate, for example. Similarly, look at this difference. She's very focused on possibilities, while Mateo is more focused on realities. So that can have certain implications. And if you want to know how to deal with that, then you keep scrolling and you can see what you want to be doing. So for Mateo, working with her, she might have objections right at the ready. So he'd want to anticipate those. And again, really focus on possibilities. And while they're both pragmatic, let's really look at how we can innovate and then make it work. And last but not least, how to take action. So there are some tips here. Ask for patience and tie your idea to the big picture. So really powerful, really useful. And I want to just encourage you, if you have any questions, reach out to us. If you are one of my clients who is still using the paper assessment, please reach out to us because you're entitled to a free upgrade. We can show you how to do that, and you can begin taking advantage of these benefits right away. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video, and I look forward to interacting with you again soon. Bye now.